there's this thing that we usually follow like as agents to determine the valuation of the unit. So it's called X value. So I followed it quite closely. I think that time the X value was about 570 or 580,000.
Okay.
620, I think. It was on the higher side. Right?
Yeah. And so around it. And then after that, my seller, my seller wanted to sell high also. So he saw 570, 580, right? So he was like, okay, then we sell at 600, 610, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I was, being a new agent, I'm like, okay lah, just follow the sellers, and all that. But the recent transaction in the area was only 520 or 530. So I didn't understand that it would either the seller would have to wait longer for offers, or there won't be any offers at all. So we were marketing it for about 2 to 3 months with no offers, and then that's when I realized that I had to revise the pricing. Even after revising the pricing, right, when we brought it lower, right, we found out that the actual value of the unit wasn't anywhere close to the X value.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Property Hard Truth by Nizam. Right, today we have another special guest, another of our associate, another of our protege, who's been with us since 2022. Yeah, later we'll introduce him later. But more importantly, like the previous episode, we wanted to hear from the young realtors out there. What are their challenges? What are their takeaways? What they have learned throughout the years, in their quest to be a successful realtor. So, without further ado, maybe I want him to introduce himself, give a bit of background. Whatever you want to say, please do. No, this is a no holds barred kind of podcast. So, over to you.
Yeah, hi, I'm Ethan, and I joined Nizam actually in 2022, right after I finished my army. So Nizam actually followed up with me like ever since I graduated from my diploma, which I studied real estate business in Ngee Ann Polytechnic.
Okay.
After that, like I felt that it was a very, very emotional connection with them. When they actually followed up with me, I was like, I actually didn't have the intention to join the real estate industry at all lah. But after following up, I was quite curious as to what this industry can do, because you see a lot of people like closing a lot of deals, and then you see a lot of it's a high learning curve also lah, like what the industry can bring to different people. Yep.
Okay, so how old were you then?
In 2022, I was 22 years old.
Oh wow, okay. So
army.
easy to count, 2022, 22 years old. Okay, so but you chose real estate business because you were having you graduate from a diploma in real estate?
Yeah.
Is that the pure reason why you joined into real estate?
Actually, I didn't want to join the industry. I wanted to do property management. But then after a while, all my peers were like, they were joining the real estate industry, like doing real estate agents. So I was like, why not just give it a shot? Because when you get the real estate business diploma, you just convert over to your license. So I was like, okay, like if I don't like the
you're
industry,
the lucky batch,
yeah.
So just for context purpose, I think Ethan graduated from Ngee Ann Poly, real estate business, right?
Yeah.
So at that point of time, no need to take the RES exam.
Yeah.
So it's a free pass. So should have been a motivating factor for most of your peers, but unfortunately, not many took up the privilege, I believe.
I think about half
did.
Yeah.
How many left now?
I'm not too sure.
Yeah. But interesting. I think I remember Ethan with his army uniform come to our place to have your mentorship, to learn about things, which I find it very enriching for young people, for young men who who has the world is an oyster, they call it, right? But choose to really sit down, listen, learn, and then do at such a young age, and without going to any profession per se. It's straight away from, it's like you are thrown into the deepest end from the onset.
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand. We also believe. I mean, at Nizam, we believe that I don't know, it's maybe our calling. A lot of our team members are as young as Ethan. So I think one important thing is make us feel young. Secondly, of course, I think we are both. I mean, in a way, we want to nurture people who are from zero. I think that's the satisfaction, not only for ourselves. I think more important for people like you who are willing to learn, because we are willing to give. The willingness must be both ways. And today, now it's 2025, so Ethan has achieved quite, to me personally, good, but a lot
still
more
can do better.
Of course, in life, guys.
But that's the thing, Nizam, because he starts zero, right? Although he has the diploma in real estate business, but when it comes to the actual groundwork, that diploma, I don't know whether it apply or not.
I don't really think it applies that much.
Okay. I mean, that's good to know. So I don't know good or not good, but okay. So let's talk about your first deal, or how do you get your first deal? Maybe that you can refresh your mind a bit.
Actually, my first deal was HDB lah. I think as with most of us, like we start with HDB.
Why that? Okay, first why HDB?
Because most people, like when we are new to industry, like we know that most people in Singapore, they stay in HDB. You know, so we can't avoid that fact that our deals will come from HDB.
Naturally,
like
I mean there's a vast number of needs lah. I would say.
Be it rental, buying or selling.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was quite fortunate that this came as a referral from a friend.
Okay.
But this was a divorce case, you know. Having your first case as like a divorce
challenging
case,
case.
HDB, you know, and then HDB, okay. But the thing is, you add in another aspect, it being a divorce. That's when I got quite scared, you know, having to deal with my first deal being a divorce case. So it wasn't too much of like the transacting and all that, but it's more of how to deal with the emotional aspect, because you know sometimes divorce,
two different parties, not talking terms.
Correct.
Can be nasty.
I was also fortunate that they were on talking terms.
Okay.
But you know, sometimes you never know when the other would snap. Like you just
disagree or strongly disagree.
Right.
To stay neutral is so difficult.
Correct. Yeah. And just to share, when I thought I closed the deal. You know, sometimes when you first start, there's the issue option, and then after exercise option. I thought once you issue the OTP, okay, deal closed already. But the deal burst because the buyer's agent, they came in and say, oh, feng shui not good. You know? So the buyers came without their parents. The second time came with their parents. The parents say feng shui not good. So that's why the deal burst lah.
Okay.
Yeah. So in fact, these are things that you learn along the job. You know, like when the deal actually closes. You know, so that you don't lose out.
Yeah, but that was your so-called first rejection, lah.
First rejection, yes.
Right. But how you feel about that first rejection? Like, I thought this supposed to be like a good case, but then why didn't exercise?
As with all the first deals, you know, you are very excited. You know, like
eager lah.
Correct. So you're like, okay, this one burst, right? But we still have to move on because this is like your little baby. You know, your first deal. You want to make sure that everything goes smoothly.
Okay.
So you chong for the next one. Like right after I realized that these buyers weren't going to move forward with the purchase, so you start looking for other buyers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So straight away remarket again.
Correct.
And then get the right buyer. So but eventually you close it.
Yeah.
But do you how you feel when you close it, because it's the first HDB case? That means you have to apply the policies that you learn.
Right.
Then number 2, divorce. So how do you get all this solved?
I still remember when I first signed the exclusive to market all these agreements. The first thing I did was to call you and then tell you like, oh, I signed the exclusive. But then that's when I asked what's next. So exclusive, after that, then you can start marketing, like properly marketing on Property Guru. Then further down, you need to, you know, as with a divorce case, you need to, of course, collect the like interim, final court orders.
Check the documents, right?
These documents, which I didn't know, you know, like it being the first deal, like you never know, you won't know what you need until like you really clarify.
Yes.
That's why I feel like the mentorship, and also mentorship is important, and also like Nizam, when I asked them, right, you know, they will immediately answer. Then after that, they will say like, oh, these are the documents you need, you know, and then it being very, very like clear also, which is what helped me close the case. If not, I'll be panicking here and there, like, you know, what do I need? And then also you want to be confident when you're answering like the let's say
sellers,
any parties
question.
involved. Yeah. So yeah.
You took how long to close that deal?
I think about
Marcus?
the first time was about a week or 2 weeks. The
Okay.
second time was 1 more week.
Okay,
Yeah.
so within the month you managed to get the deals closed lah,
Yeah.
right? And okay, so
Before that, to put into context also, if I may say so, is in the Holland area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the quantum is
It's quite high. It's quite.
yeah.
You know, it was a 3-room flat, and then the price of this 3-room flat is actually higher than even some of the 5 rooms around Singapore. Yeah.
above 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
above
they get
7.
2%.
Oh yes.
Wow,
Actually,
amazing.
you know, for those of you who do not know, when we handle HDB divorce case, usually each party will have an agent on their own. I mean, but good that for Ethan, for his first case, he don't need to haggle with another. I mean, working with
Right.
another fellow agent that he probably don't know.
Right.
So he handled everything alone as an exclusive agent. So to me, I think that also to me a big achievement because
Yeah.
both parties actually trust you to help them sell the
Correct,
property instead of finding another agent to work for another party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they know you're a new agent, newly minted agent?
They actually knew I was a new agent. That's why like I'm really fortunate, you know, and when they know and they remember that I'm a new agent and they still trust me with something so expensive, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the key word. See, it's to me is when you get an exclusive, regardless of how many years you've been in the industry, right? It's a what do you call that? It's something that you need to uphold because of the trust.
Right.
Yeah. Regardless of who you are, because it's like you say, the quantum is probably nearly $1 million, you know, for a 4-room flat or 5-room flat for that matter, and then it's not just loose change. So any single mistake, any zero that you miss, it can cause a lot of issue.
Yes.
Right. And worse is a divorce case where there's distribution of monies.
Right. That one is very sensitive.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, sometimes it's good because most people, or not say most lah, some people have the beginner's luck. They get everything very smooth, very easy, everything in a silver platter. But you did not, which means you learn the hard way.
Right.
And I believe it gives you a bit more, a better perspective of the market. That not all roses are red.
Yeah.
So that's key in this industry because it's not every day is Sunday.
Correct.
Yeah.
So okay, moving on to the second deal.
Yeah.
What was it?
It was actually a 4-room in Clementi. It was quite an old unit. I think built
So
in
still at
1980s.
HDB resale
Yeah.
lah.
Still HDB.
Yeah, but this time the seller actually have to sell and buy.
Correct.
So what's different this time?
Yeah. So we usually take it as, you know, sell and buy are two separate things. But you know, how is it as a seller? You know, because I need to sell my property, and yet I also want to buy something that I can seamlessly, you know, move into the property. So I didn't think too much about that until it really came down to it. I'm like, oh yeah, my seller also needs a house to stay, and how do I avoid this inconvenience? Yeah.
How do you marry the sell and buy together
Correct.
in terms of the process lah?
Correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when I learned about like after I asked you, then I learned about contra, you know. But coming into an industry, right, you don't know all these terms, contra, extension of stay. These kind of things are very important for the sellers, and the learning curve is so high.
I think you just don't know what's the implication.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, imagine like you mess up the extension of stay, you know, you don't request this for your sellers, and so they have to move out right after the completion day. Yeah, I didn't know like what the disadvantages of these were.
And did you do contra for this submission? I mean the HDB submission. So okay, for those people who out there do not know that apart from getting the contract out, when you actually submit to HDB, you also have to follow certain processes. So if you're doing contra, that means you have to actually have both contracts ready to submit to the HDB on the same day, right?
Yeah.
So that's something that I think a lot of agents worry or have fear. Do you have fear doing this because you have to be very in tune or accurate in terms of
Timeline.
getting the timeline right?
because it was my second deal, right? I think I still had the fear, lah. No matter what deal I mean, first, second, or third, right? You will still have that fear because you're managing something so sensitive. So like any mistake you do, right, you can really mess up either party's timeline, whether it's the sellers or the buyers.
Or the person that you're gonna buy the property from, right?
But I remember vividly that there was an issue with the unit in terms of what your perceive.
What's
your perception? Maybe as a rookie, I mean it's a rookie mistake. Fine, but maybe share.
So there's this thing that we usually follow, like as agents, to determine the valuation of the unit. So it's called X value. So I followed it quite closely. I think that time the X value was about 570 or 580,000.
Okay.
620, I think. It was on the higher side, right?
Yeah. And so around there. And then after that, my seller, my seller wanted to sell high also. So he saw 570, 580, right? So he was like, okay, then we sell at 600, 610, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And then being a new agent, I'm like, okay lah, just follow the sellers, and all that. But the recent transaction in the area was only 520 or 530. So I didn't understand that it would either the seller would have to wait longer for offers, or there won't be any offers at all. So we were marketing it for about 2 to 3 months with no offers, and then that's when I realized that I had to revise the pricing. Even after revising the pricing, right, when we brought it lower, right, we found out that the actual value of the unit wasn't anywhere close to the X value.
How do you manage to convince the seller to bring down his or her expectation in terms of pricing?
So one thing was time. The longer we wait for, like, let's say, to sell the unit, right, we wouldn't be able to get like the unit that he wanted to buy. And he was very, very specific with what units what blocks he wanted.
Okay.
So that was that was the time factor also. If we lose that unit, right, there may not be a chance that you can get a unit in the exact block that you want.
Okay.
So using that, I spoke to him, and then he agreed to lower the price. Eventually, when we got the actual offer, he was happy with it, lah.
Just to put in context, if you look at that time, right, it's just after COVID, right?
Yeah, right after COVID.
So that time we have issues with the supply, right?
Correct,
No
yes,
sellers are willing to sell their property, knowing that they have issues that time buying during COVID, right? Everybody was rushing to buy. So most sellers were not willing to sell their property at that moment, right?
Yeah.
So that time you had a hard time trying to find a unit that this seller wants, that particular area and all that thing. So you have to juggle all this, being still new in the business.
I also got one thing to highlight. Second deal also burst because the seller, the buyer, the initial buyer that we had suddenly had problems.
Or loan, is it, or what?
I think there's some financial issues.
Oh, the buyer didn't come with an agent, right?
Yeah, didn't come with an agent.
It's a DIY buyer, lah.
Yeah, DIY buyer. Then that's when he did realize that his financials were a bit off, so he couldn't proceed with the deal. So at the end of the day, the deal also burst, lah. So first and second.
So it was option.
Yeah, it was option.
So but that doesn't deter you or discourage you a bit?
It discouraged me a bit, second deal also burst, then how, but at the end of the day, must be very objective, lah. Like, at the end of the day, you still have a job to do, the promise to your client that you will close this deal at and not say at the highest price, but at the best price.
Fair market value.
Yeah.
And important, you manage to assure the seller that it can be remarketed and get another buyer.
Yeah.
Fortunately, good price also, and then he can buy something that is also matching his needs.
Correct.
Yeah. So actually, as a new agent, you managed to do a lot of learning throughout these two deals, right?
Which I think no theory can teach you, lah.
Yeah.
Do you get these trainings from the company?
Actually, yes. Part of it was from the company, but more of it is from the mentoring by y'all, lah. Because these kind of things that I wouldn't say you can learn by the books, but there's also the emotional aspect that you have to manage. In divorce, there's like the anger and all this, and also, like, let's say my second case, when you have to sell and buy, there's uncertainty, will I get the house in time? And then my renovation, how? This kind
If
of
I sell, can I buy the unit that I
Correct.
want?
And then the extension of stay,
Yeah.
and all that thing. I think if you compare with the two cases of HDB, right, you think that HDB has a lot of checks and balances to do compared to a private property,
I
you
would
think?
say, yeah, maybe more checks and balances. Like you have to, there's a lot of things you have to
Processes lah, I
manage.
believe,
yeah.
yeah.
And you cannot move away or deviate from the processes. If something gets rejected, you push back the timeline.
True. Yeah, certain
Okay.
things not in our control lah.
Yeah.
Good.
So to me, I think you did very well in the first two, because despite new, not having to know much about processes. I mean, not something that process you can memorize.
Right.
You have to have a case to then you do as you get along. You will remember.
And
better.
although multiple cases, right, it's not a template. Every case is unique. It comes
every
to
clients we serve are
the
unique.
needs and wants.
Unique needs
Yeah.
and then unique ones. Okay, now since you talk about two HB cases, right?
Yeah.
Then come the third case. What was your third deal?
My third case was a landed deal.
Suddenly
Yeah.
bomb. Yeah.
That one was, I think it was the scariest out of the first few deals.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because suddenly, you deal with two, you would think already high quantum units. Then suddenly you dealt with something more than 2 million. Of course, like there will be panic also. And then another thing is, I never do private before.
Okay.
So I'll be like, I panic. I was like, it's good thing I told you, I called you. Then after I said, I managed. I got a new unit to sell, but it's a landed. Yeah, I remember the panic lah.
I thought it's supposed to be happiness.
Yeah.
What panic?
It's a good problem to have lah.
But then okay.
What are the major challenges of selling a landed property?
I think dealing with landed, right, you deal with a different set of, I wouldn't say problems lah, but yeah, you can put it simply as problems lah. Like you need to profile the viewers a bit more, so that you know that they are not just coming to window shop. That you need to see, have they sold already? Are they, like where are they staying? Are they first time buyers? These kind of things. It's quite similar to the HDB profile, but I think there's I wouldn't say a stricter profile that we had to do, but it's just to make sure that the viewers coming are more serious, because at the end of the day, you're also answering the sellers. Can't be bring 20 or 30 viewers and don't close.
So I think it's about the privacy of the sellers lah, that you don't want.
And also the quality of the buyers are not just anybody.
So, but what is the difference in terms of processes? I mean, like HDB have to check the policies, qualification, eligibility and all that thing.
Right.
But when come to private, it's about more of asking the buyers if they have done their what kind of
the
checks?
IPA and all that.
Bank,
More of the bank loan stuff and all that. Yeah. And dealing with the buyers is one thing, and also like dealing with SLA. I think making sure that there are no like unauthorized alterations and stuff like that, because sometimes landed houses, there may be some of these kind of things lah.
Okay.
How long do you take to sell the unit?
I think it's about 1 or 2 months or so. I thought it was long, but then like looking at things now, I think 1 or 2 months for a landed deal is quite
good lah.
Yeah.
Because usually, for us as a real estate salesperson, right, when we sign an exclusive, usually it's for 3 months.
Yeah.
But actually you can extend lah, but you have to re-sign again every 3 months. That's a CAA regulation lah. But landed usually for such high quantum, it's hard to sell. Usually people take more than 3 months, sometimes 6 months so have. But for you, surprisingly, as a new real estate salesperson, you managed to sell it within less than 3 months, right? And you get a lot of buyers viewing. It is, to me, very good lah. Usually people hard to market because it's a high quantum.
Yeah.
But more importantly, how do you manage the expectation of the sellers?
Of course, when there were concrete offers coming in. Like I think the asking that time was 2.4, but we had like offers coming in at 2 million, 2.1 or so. So in a way, that conditioned the sellers a bit. That asking was a bit too high. Yeah. So when more concrete offers started coming, like I think the final offer that we had, I started around 2.25. Then I think we pushed it up to 2.33. Yeah, so there's a more realistic offer to accept for the
sellers
seller.
lah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that you have done HDB and private, which one you prefer? Is there any preference over the other, one over the other, or
I
something?
think there's no preference because at the end of the day, it's good to. You have to do both.
Yeah.
HDB, you have a lot of very, very not say technical cases, but emotional cases. There's a lot of emotions to manage. You know, like some people they come to you with like, this is my budget and this is what I can afford, and how you work with this to actually get the unit that they want. Yeah.
Okay.
So what's your worst experience if it comes to HDB, let's say?
HDB,
Oh,
can I say about rental?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Oh,
Okay. So in between you do have rentals.
I do have rentals for my landlords and all that. So my landlord has a few shop houses, and this one is actually a small deal, but it's my most the one that I remember the most because it was the first time that I had a tenant run away from the unit.
Oh, really?
And never pay for anything. Yeah.
Just leave the place.
Yeah, just left the place. One morning I woke up, I got a text from my landlord. Then he said, "Hi Ethan, so and so just left the unit." Then I thought, okay lah, just left lah. Like maybe I don't know what he meant. Then he said, "Oh, he really left the unit. He ran away already." Then I was like, "Wah, jialat." Then I was like, okay, I will go down to the unit and check if everything is okay. So one thing I told him is that because he ran away from the unit, you can forfeit the security deposit. So I was like, okay lah, forfeit already can lah. But when I went to the room, I saw like, okay, even the security deposit won't cover the damages that this guy did.
What did he do?
Yeah. So I opened the door. The bed is supposed to be like that. When I saw the bed, it was all bent already. The bed frame bent, everything. Then
It's a metal bed.
I think it's those kind of wooden bed frame,
Serious?
but all broken.
Okay.
Then after that, this guy took a 1-year lease. This was 6 months in, right? And he looked like he never washed the bed sheet or the pillowcase at all. So you see the perspiration marks, and then all the cupboards were just broken.
Serious?
The walls also,
Must be venting his anger or something.
Yeah, something like that. So I was
And
like,
he's a working adult lah.
Working adult.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think.
So the other tenants never complained anything.
No complaints from them. Like in the 6 months that he was there, like
Because
none
if he
of
broke
them.
I mean,
Correct.
there might be people like loud noise or something like that lah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, so
So
he
in
just
the end,
ran.
how do you manage the landlord? I mean, he's of course unhappy.
Yeah,
So
so
how you?
we forfeited the deposit. Then after that, of course, there are still damages past the deposit that we had to claim for. So yeah, we have his company, and then but he wasn't answering his phone number, the phone calls and everything. So we just sent a letter of demand to the company, and then him as the address to him lah. Yeah.
Anything that was? I mean, did anybody respond to that?
My landlord say like never mind, nothing to share. So
Okay.
so
Alright.
Yeah, I guess when it comes to rental, I mean, we all know that as a landlord, we have take some consideration, right, for the tenant. So sometimes we minimize the risk lah, right? I mean the cost. We better find a new tenant lah quickly, and then find a new tenant. I think that would be easier than chasing.
And
the
from
old
our
tenant.
experience, a lot of people out there are not ready to become landlords.
Yes.
the
Because they are
problems you
too,
have to deal
yeah.
with. Yeah.
not only the problem, I think too emotional. Because end of the day, for us especially, right, when people wants to rent their whole unit, for example, HDB, the first thing we ask, are you ready to become a landlord? Which means if there's issues, there's broken things, whatever, are you able to accept or not? In that sense, like accept, which means repair and all that.
Yeah, because tenant definitely will not look after your house. I mean, they will not be mopping the floor.
Most
or
lah.
they're not able to clean. They just go to work, come back, or they don't even see they makan. Then they just never mind. Then the next thing is the same. So after a long time, the house doesn't look like your house anymore because it's so dirty, so messy, and the smell and whatnot. Right. That's why sometimes when we rent out a property, we want the landlord to keep less things.
Right.
Declutter. Basically, don't even leave many things for the tenant.
I think at the end of the day, like as a landlord, you also must be able to accept that your unit won't come back in the exact same state as when you hand it over to the tenant. Of course, there will be some wear and tear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's already an exchange of money, so there's always there. So must understand lah. Good.
So now looking at what you have gone through for your maybe first year of your real estate career, so you still say you got no preference lah. Basically, everything's still important to do, right?
Yes.
But have you wondered how do you get all these skills suddenly, like from zero to do all these things?
I think it's a lot of course, tapping your warm leads first, like your friends, families, relatives. Because those are the people who will, like, most of the time, most of them will support you. You know, like, okay, you are new.
Give you a chance.
Yeah, give you a chance. Then from there, that's where it's easier to build your portfolio. Because with this, you can say like, oh yeah, I closed this in this area. I closed a HDB. I closed a landed before. I think that's your first point of contact. After that, then there are also the other marketing like strategies, like whether doing door knocking, flyers. I think those are still like important things to
Lead generation.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so what kind of skills do you learn? Actually, does the company that now you're in PropNext, I mean, you are in PropNext, that's your first company, but do you think that the company have provide you a lot of skills and trainings
Resources.
that you require as a new salesperson?
Yeah, definitely. I think they've provided a lot of trainings, right? But sometimes you never know what you don't know, you know.
Yeah.
So you can continue attending the
Or
training.
you don't know what you should know.
Yeah, correct. So I think at the end of the day, it still brings back to the personal mentorship, you know, like asking, like in my case was asking you, what should I do? Like, yeah, I do know how to close like a resale condo, you know, but is that what I should be targeting, you know? Like sometimes you have to bring it back to your current leads, you know, to see what you can close. Like learning HDB that time when I first started, then learning from there. Then after that, of course, slowly being more confident with closing most other deals.
Talking about it, I think recently you ventured into new launch, right?
Yeah.
As a tagger.
Yeah.
So what's the experience like?
It's quite a fun but scary experience also, you know, because in this case,
It's fun, like scary, like roller coaster, right? Like that.
No, maybe before that, maybe you explain what is the tagger. I mean, when for those people who doesn't know, when a real estate salesperson took up a project to work with, like a new launch project, you basically have to pay some amount to become a core team in the marketing team. Okay, but when you're in the marketing team, you can also elevate yourself to become a tagger, so you can assist your fellow colleagues or fellow internal co-brokes to work with you on the project, and they bring their buyer to you. You have to
Do the
presentation for the
product presentation.
correct.
So that is called a tagger. Yeah. So
since what's the you're saying scary yet fun, or fun
Yeah.
yet scary?
what's the challenge?
You know, closing normal deals, right? You are working like as like agent to client, you know. But in this case, your clients are agents, because these agents will be bringing their buyers to you.
Correct.
And trust the buyers to you.
Correct. So if you mess up, you also mess up these agents closing. That's what makes it a lot more scary.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, you have to push the boundaries to make sure that you're more confident. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Good that.
That's Any more experience from doing project?
What do you enjoy most?
What do I enjoy? It's just being in the show flat also. You learn about the surroundings and also about the development itself. Like as like nowadays there are a lot of launches coming up, so you learn why developers will price it in such a way. So these kind of things are I think it's more in-depth learning when you join a particular
So the
project.
training a bit more extensive lah,
Right.
and intensive as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
So do you feel that over the years?
Before that, so that was the so-called the positive thing. What's the not so positive thing about project? Let's be honest here, because our podcast is property hard truth.
All the negative or the positive?
So
Or the
right,
truth lah.
like let's say cannot say let's say honestly, because there are so many taggers out there also. So like sometimes agents already have their own
Preference,
taggers. Yeah, that's why it's difficult. Sometimes difficult to break that boundary. You know, like get into the next level, right, until you have those kind of closings. Yeah. So at the end of the day, like these agents, they still won't come to you because they will go to more
Of
like
your track record in a way lah.
correct.
Yeah.
Right?
They want to be assured that they can close the buyer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure.
No, I
a
mean
bit of a
it's
stress and all
it's
that.
logical, because today lead acquisition is expensive.
Right,
To get a buyer to bring to the show flat and to close is to bring is another whole different thing, and another whole level. To close is another level, you know.
Yeah.
So if you screw up, then I might not friend you.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want
a
to
lot of
mess
people
up.
out there think that agents can get buyers to come down show flat easily. I mean, of course, sometimes, and also some buyers, they have friends or colleagues that's also a real estate agent.
Yeah.
A friend who is a real estate agent, so they don't need to engage any other agents. Many people thought that, I got this friend, I got this relative who's an agent, you know, why do I need to engage another agent? But sometimes, most of the time, a lot of buyers out there, they prefer an agent who doesn't know them, so that they can get
It's a fresh start.
fresh
An honest
perspective from a
perspective.
different, honest perspective
Yeah.
from someone who they don't know, and maybe also due to some privacy or confidential things, they also prefer somebody that they don't know to serve them, right? So to me, for those aspiring real estate agents out there, I mean, this is life, this is our business. Sometimes we think too much, but actually the life out there is limitless. It can be anything. We have to always keep our minds open and ready. In fact, we have to always be ready to accept any kind of deals, whether is it difficult. It's not that we can choose.
Right.
Many people think that, you choose to be doing HDB only lah, so you don't do private lah.
You
Or you
always
only do
start-
private lah, you never do HDB lah.
Correct.
You know, that kind of thing. So actually all these thinking are wrong lah. We take in
Yeah.
any other
Anyway,
deals.
my brief to Ethan when he broached the idea about doing project is, in order not to pressure yourself, take it as a learning journey. Yeah, but of course this learning journey has a incentive, which means close deals lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, learning doesn't mean learning, because a lot of people will say learning so take it easy but actually for us real estate, time is essence so the learning is actually intentional. It has to be an intentional
It's a
thing.
very steep learning curve.
Yeah, it means
Learn
I
do,
don't-
learn
You
do.
have to take it, do it. Not say I learn lah, I try lah. I mean,
It's not like the
word try is
conventional
very-
conventional learning. You study, you learn, then the
Yeah.
exam, then graduate. No,
Yeah.
it's you
because
every
in a
day.
short time you gotta do and act
Correct.
and try.
Like
and-
you can be scared when doing the deals, but you must do the deals scared. If not, you won't even do the deals at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
In
right.
fact, we actually keep breaking beliefs, limiting beliefs. We keep breaking every now and then, right? Because every time it's a new skill, every time it's a new deal. Even if it's the same kind of, if it's same HDB, also every time different people, different problems, different lives, different families.
Yeah. But what Niza say, being ready is important because you never know what kind of deal comes your way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if everything until today you're in the business for the last 3 years and you're not ready, another landed job ends up on your table, you still not ready, I think that is questionable lah.
Correct.
So just be ready. Readiness is important because anytime it's like a firefighter lah. I mean, you must be ready all the time. There's no fire, you still have to do training, you have to do all those processes. Same. So but when time comes for you to act, you know what to do. I think that's key lah.
Yeah, so I want to ask you, Ethan, since you do HDB already, you do private already, and landed, and then you do condo new launch.
Yeah.
So, do you think you have learned it all?
Definitely not, because in every deal that I've closed, like even this year, right, you still pick up something new, you know, like whether it's like a small part that you missed out, or something new that is just introduced to you, like let's say in terms of like a divorce case, of course you keep on learning new things that you need to, let's say, submit also. And after that, even in the whole divorce process, you learn like where this comes in. Yeah.
Okay, I want to move on to maybe before we end, a bit more not so related lah.
Yeah.
But in terms of for the past 3 years or so, was there a time or were there times where you feel like giving up?
Of course, definitely, like in like those low times, right? You'll think like, maybe
Define low times.
Low times is when no closing at all, you know. You'll
Like,
feel like
how long? No closing?
like maybe 1, 2, sometimes even 3 months, like zero closing.
Okay.
Yeah. So in real estate, you can earn $0 and you can also be losing money instead of earning money.
Okay.
That's one thing that I learned in the past 3 years or so.
okay.
So in these low times, you also have to be ready lah. Yeah, and also like how you get over these like mentally, like whether it's like talking to someone or talking to people in the industry also, so not say like your throw your worries and everything, but from there how you can work to improve. Because at the end of the day, you cannot accept zero. Like what I learned, you cannot accept zero every month lah.
Cannot. Because we still have expenses, we still have commitment, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody is the same, whether you're young or you are married or you have kids or no kids. Everybody have expenses, right? Your phone bill is also expenses, right? Your travel, your traveling and all that. So that's why for us, because we have no salary, monthly salary, we don't have bonuses or like that. We have to earn every single day, monthly, to have consistent income and savings. So that's why cash flow management also is part of a major part of salesperson actually.
In this industry, literally talk is cheap. You can talk, but there's no closing, there's no income. You are just shooting yourself in the foot lah. I think important also knowledge. So with knowledge, you're able to elevate the way you talk to people, the way you understand situation, the way you can predict or analyze trends and all that, which in today's context, right, there are 30 over 1,000 agents in Singapore, and importantly, how do we differentiate ourselves from each and every one of them is through our value proposition. That's key. So readiness is important. Today, I mean, just now in the car, and after I was thinking to myself, there's three things that estate agents need to have. First is resilience, which means in times of adversity and all that, you are able to see the positive behind it and pivot if you need to. Okay. Second is resolute, which means you are able to make the decision, no matter how painful it is. You should be making the right decision. Not you must do the right thing and not make things right lah. Last is readiness, which we have talked about, because if you're not ready, you're not able to execute, especially if you don't have the support. A lot of people out there, it's easy to blame others when you don't do well because of the fact that probably your skill set you have not, it's not up to mark. That's key lah. The readiness of yourself is not there. So and you feel, just give an example. Today HDB market is on the soft side with the Hungry Ghost month, with the school holidays, viewings and whatever are really far and few in between for some of us. So, and if you're just relying on one segment of the market, that's where you will feel the
pinch.
Not the pinch, bro. The slap, the whatever, the slam, whatever. Because if you feel the pinch, it's just temporary pain. But if you feel the slam, the body slam, the whatever and all that, it really hurts. And it hurts not only your ego, the bottom line, which means because already probably your expenses are high. So today I just want to say to people out there, real estate agents, whether you're experienced or aspiring or just enter the industry, end of the day, what's your value proposition, and work towards it. Elevate yourself in terms of knowledge, so that
and stay focused.
And in view of helping people lah. It's not about, if you talk about making money, I think this is not the industry to go in per se, because you make money, of course.
It's a byproduct of what you do.
So that's the key thing.
And the value or the service that you do in exchange for commissions, right?
So you have any last words and all that to the people out there?
Adding on to what you say, being open is also very important. Being open in terms of like the problems you're facing, because one thing about it is no one can read your mind.
Yes.
Only you know yourself.
True.
So being able to share like these problems with like-minded people and in a way like work towards settling these problems, I think is a very, very important part of being a real estate agent.
You have to acknowledge that in a real estate business is your own business, and the shop have to open 24/7. There's no say I want to rest or what, because it's a business. You have to keep it going 24/7. And you have to keep moving forward. Even though the market is bad or market is good, you still have to go forward and reach out to those people who need, because real estate in Singapore, almost everybody is connected to this, because everybody owns a home. In Singapore, almost 90% ownership, right? So there is something to do. There is a rental. There's something to do that you can do. Even if, let's say, market is low, somebody still need to sell, still need to buy near a school, or even due to divorce, or even as a new buyer. So many things to do. In fact, for us, so many years in the business, we still find that there's still a lot more that we can learn, and we have not touched also. So to me, keep going forward, think positively, because you're not the only one who in the low market. Everybody also feeling it. So the only thing is to share and share with fellow colleagues, being open about what are the challenges, because you may be challenging, but somebody may have a solution for you. So it's about staying connected lah. Whether
and also managing your time and your cash flow, and when times are low like this, it's time to what do you call
that's
that?
why you do training,
elevate your skill set.
Yeah.
So
and important, one more thing, mindset.
Oh,
I
yes,
think in
yes.
any salesperson, I think mindset have to be strong, because after all we're doing sales, right? But we also have sales and value and everything. We have to put it in a package, right? So even in the market, low market, we have to be very strong. Even in our market, so we have to be very strong in terms of mindset.
The challenges are different in different type of market. So I hope we've given a bit of perspective to our listeners and viewers out there who are, perhaps don't have the full picture. This is just a flavor, so that we understand each other in terms of the role that we play lah. So till our next podcast, my name is Nizam Adli.
I'm Neeza Ali.
And I'm Ethan.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.